In the world of human relationships, especially romantic ones, emotional psychology plays a far more dominant role than logic. While many assume that status, appearance, or financial stability drive attraction, the reality is that emotions are the true engine behind romantic decisions, particularly for women. Understanding the principles of emotional engagement and how they influence attraction reveals powerful insights into how lasting romantic bonds are formed. 1. Emotions first, logic second. Human beings make decisions based on emotions and later justify them with logic. This is not just a sales principle, it is a psychological rule of behavior. For example, someone might purchase an expensive car during financial hardship not because it's a logical choice, but because they emotionally desire it. Only afterward do they rationalize the purchase by saying things like, "It's reliable," or "It has great mileage." These are just mental justifications for what was, at its core, an emotional decision. Women, in particular, operate predominantly on emotional responses. They are the world's largest consumer group precisely because of their emotionally driven behavior. In relationships, this emotional orientation means that attraction to a man happens first on a feeling level. All the reasons she gives, he's attractive, tall, successful, are often just logical projections placed on top of deeper emotional triggers. Despite being approached or messaged by dozens of similar or better men, she becomes attached to the one who evokes a genuine emotional response. When a relationship falters or ends, the stated reasons, such as financial stress or incompatibility, often mask a deeper truth: the emotional attraction faded. A woman might say she left because her partner didn't understand her or didn't care, yet these statements frequently follow a common pattern. Even if a man tries hard to show understanding and care, the relationship can still collapse if the emotional connection has weakened. Divorce statistics often reflect this misunderstanding. Women might cite money problems or mistreatment as the cause, but these issues likely existed before the marriage. What changes is the emotional dynamic. If the emotional bond dies, logic fills the vacuum with justifications for leaving. Conversely, when emotional attraction is high, many faults, financial instability, personal flaws, even betrayal, are often overlooked or forgiven. In every relationship, both good and bad aspects exist. What determines whether a woman stays or leaves is not the presence of these traits but the level of emotional attraction she feels. When attraction is high, she sees the good. When it's low, she focuses on the bad. The defining factor is always emotion, not logic. 2. Attraction grows in absence, not presence. One of the most powerful truths about romantic attachment is that deep feelings form when one partner is not around. Many men make the mistake of over-communicating or being constantly available out of fear of losing the woman they're interested in. They worry that absence might lead her to forget them or find someone else. But emotional bonds are forged in silence, not saturation. When there's a gap after a meaningful interaction, the mind begins to replay moments, question their meaning, and crave closure. This mental activity builds emotional weight and attachment. In contrast, constant interaction creates comfort, but rarely mystery or longing. When distance is introduced after a significant emotional moment, the brain starts constructing narratives. It filters out flaws, amplifies positive feelings, and creates an idealized version of the person. Memory becomes the canvas on which emotion paints its masterpiece. Feelings aren't developed through endless texting. They're built in moments of mystery, curiosity, and reflection. Therefore, being absent at the right moments creates the emotional tension that leads to obsession. Women don't fall in love with men they constantly talk to. They fall for the version their minds create when left in thoughtful silence. 3. Emotional investment through explanation. Another lesser-known truth is that the more a woman explains herself to someone, the more emotionally attached she becomes. Explaining, defending, or clarifying one's actions isn't just communication, it's investment. The brain interprets this effort as a sign that the person being addressed is significant. This phenomenon can be encouraged with 5 strategic approaches. 1. Hold the frame. Allow moments of misunderstanding without rushing to clarify. A calm, quiet reaction encourages her to offer explanations voluntarily, deepening emotional investment. 2. Playful misinterpretation. Lightly twist her words in a teasing, non-insulting way that nudges her to correct the impression. For instance, suggesting she's a heartbreaker when she says she rarely dates can prompt an emotional response. 3. Teasing labels. Use confident, tongue-in-cheek judgments like, "You look like trouble." These provoke a playful defense, reinforcing the emotional engagement. 4. Challenge her uniqueness. When she shares something personal, act unimpressed. This encourages her to further explain why she's different, deepening her involvement. 5. Reward emotional openness. Validation should be given not for appearance or charm, but for her effort to emotionally open up. This makes approval feel earned and meaningful. Once a woman begins defining herself in response to someone's perception of her, emotional attachment grows rapidly. She doesn't just want attention, she needs emotional validation. And that is the foundation of long-lasting attraction. Conclusion: anyone seeking to build genuine romantic connection should internalize these core principles. Emotional triggers matter more than logical explanations, absence builds longing, and emotional investment is cultivated through conversation. Not just sharing, but explaining and defending. Rather than over-communicating or constantly trying to impress, the path to deep connection lies in creating powerful emotional experiences, stepping back, and allowing attraction to blossom in reflection, not pressure.